So it's been over a month now, and the Israeli occupation forces, fully backed by the United States, by Britain, by the EU, are still bombing indiscriminately civilian areas, neighborhoods, defenseless civilians in the Gaza Strip. And there's still people in the West, funny enough, still arguing against a ceasefire. They're saying that if we have a ceasefire, it's going to be dangerous. So in other words, they're saying to Israel, keep bombing those civilians. They flattened northern Gaza. They've killed over 10, 12, 13,000. How many thousands still missing under the rubble? How many children? How many women? How many young boys? How many fathers? How many uncles? Nieces, nephews? Still under the rubble. They're still digging them out. Family members finding their children under huge concrete blocks after days, after weeks. And there's people out there still saying, no, a ceasefire. It's too dangerous. If we have a ceasefire, then Hamas will take over Israel and kill all the Israelis. Do you know how insane this is? How insane you sound? You've completely lost your minds. But not only have you lost your minds, you've also lost your heart. You've lost your humanity. You've lost your ability to discern what's right and what's wrong, common sense. Forget about international law. You've thrown that out the window. This is insane. So how many, again, we have to ask the question, how many thousands of innocent Palestinians will have to die before you've satiated your appetite for death and destruction, for seeing dead Palestinian families? And it's all to get Hamas. And Israel says, and the US say, and the British say, and the EU says, well, Hamas is using the Palestinians in Gaza as human shields. If that were true, then surely by now, after blowing up and flattening 30 or 50,000 buildings in northern Gaza, surely you could give us a head count of how many high-value Hamas commanders that you've managed to, quote, liquidate or neutralize in this rapacious carpet bombing campaign. But we haven't heard that yet. Even one, two, three. So even if you said, oh, we've killed 5 high-value Hamas commanders or decision makers, is that worth 15,000 dead innocent civilians? Of course it's not. Anybody advocating for that position is completely bonkers. You've lost your minds. And you're playing it off like you're some sort of intellectual international affairs analyst. You're not. You're an idiot. But more than that, you're a dangerous idiot. Do you realize the precedent that's being set right now? This is more than anything the ideal entree for a third world war, because the people who are perpetrating the massacre have no choice at this point but to double down. They've already lost face in the international community. Israel's brand is forever damaged. They'll never be viewed as a victim ever again. And they'll soon be seen as a liability to even the United States rather than an asset, because they've let it go too far. Washington's let it go too far and they can't pull it back. Think about it. When is it going to stop? It should stop now. It should have stopped a month ago. But again, we'll accept today. We'll accept today. Let's stop the bombing, stop the killing, a ceasefire now. At least we can stop the killing of innocent people. We'll figure the rest out. We'll figure the rest out somehow. But if you can't agree that the mass murder that's going on right now with a modern military against people that are just stuck in a giant concentration camp, administered and subjugated by an occupying Israeli force, if you can't agree that that needs to stop now, then what are you doing? You're not fooling anybody. You're only fooling yourself.